Okay, so we are here today to talk to you about what we believe is our guide to dark romance.
Yeah, like our guide, like where we think beginning is, middle, like intermediate books and the hard stuff. So
Yeah, we're gonna just go light, medium, dark, and if you guys need recommendations or if you're looking just to get into dark romance, this is where you should start. So I think that for like really, really beginners, that it would be best to start with a dark romantic comedy.
yeah, those are always the best place to dip your toe in
Yeah.
to the pond.
So Lights Out for sure. Caught Up, no. Caught Up isn't a dark romantic comedy. I still think it's on a little bit of the lighter side. But Lights Out for sure. I actually laughed out loud during this book.
Yeah. Same goes for Love Me, Stalk Me. This is definitely a dark romantic comedy. And it's super light in the dark world. Like, obviously, it's darker than contemporary would be, but it's a great place to get started and kind of get used to the dark romance. So, ones that are still beginner, but maybe not necessarily like as beginner as those two are going to be books like Praise by Sarah Kate.
Yeah, so this is from the Salacious Players Club series, so you can do that entire series would be beginners.
Yeah.
Basically, these people, they own a sex club. I wouldn't even really say it's a dark romance. It's more of like an erotic romance.
Yeah.
Because there's not really many dark themes in it. But
it technically falls under the category,
yeah.
which is why it's in beginner.
Yeah. So then Still Beating. This is, I don't even know if it's technically classified as a dark romance, but I would say it is because the content that's in it. Yeah.
It's definitely a little more like heavy than a typical contemporary would be, which is again why it's on our beginner list.
Yeah.
It gets you ready for some of the darker things that happen in this world.
Yeah.
This may not be something other people agree upon, but in our opinion, Devil's Night is definitely a beginner dark romance series. We love it to death, but it's a good place to start. It's really not overly dark. Like, yes, it's dark, but we'd call it like gray, like not light gray, but gray. So this is a good place to start. If you want to read dark romance. By the time we get to Kill Switch is like a little bit darker than the first two.
But you're 2 books in and you...
Yeah, but I would still, even then, call it like beginner, maybe very beginning intermediate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely Devil's Night.
And then Boys of Brayshaw by Megan Brandy. I don't even know if you could technically even classify this as a dark romance, but it is.
I would classify it as a dark romance, but it's a beginner dark romance. There's definitely a lot of stuff in it that falls under the dark romance category, but it's still a lot lighter than some of the books that we're going to talk about in our other sections. So, that was the end for our beginner. Obviously, there's lots of other ones out there, but those are the ones that we had available to us at this moment. For intermediate, obviously I'm holding Kiss the Villain, but I would say that most of, if not all, Rena Kent's books fall somewhere in intermediate. I wouldn't say any of them are the hardcore. Maybe some are more towards the beginning.
Scenes.
Yeah.
But not the entire book.
Yeah, which is why it doesn't, like,
So that's why it falls in the medium, because it's kind of.
And some of the Rena Kent universe falls at the beginning of intermediate, some of it falls at the end. Obviously there's a spectrum of it, but they're definitely all in the intermediate category in our opinion. And yeah, Kiss the Villain, I would say probably lands like in the middle of intermediate, maybe. I wouldn't say it's one of the darker ones, would you? Or is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so like towards the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this one lands like more towards the end of intermediate, whereas I would say like Cruel King
Yeah.
towards the beginning of intermediate.
God of Ruin is
Yeah.
like more towards the beginning.
Yeah. But like they range, but they're all in intermediate in our
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Other ones.
I think these are like
towards the end of intermediate in my opinion, yes. And that would be the North Shore series by Miss Lola King.
Mhm.
And I would say that these definitely are on the darker side in the intermediate
They're
realm.
almost at.
Yeah. But I would also say that her entire universe does fall within intermediate. But some of it is like the very beginning intermediate. Yeah, some of them fall towards more the beginning, like Silver Falls, but
no,
not all of Silver Falls.
No, not Silver Falls.
I thought that's what you said.
Stoneview Stories.
Stoneview Stories, yes. Yeah, I would, except for maybe the last one out of the three. I would say maybe that one's a little darker than the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Rose's duet is probably a little more in the medium range.
Yeah.
These fall maybe, I would say, towards the end of intermediate.
Yeah.
And then Silver Falls, I feel like, it's the only like one where it like fluctuates throughout the series. I would say the first one is the beginning of intermediate. The second one is past the middle, but not like fully at the end. And Achilles Duval, the man that you are, Loving the Tormentor is definitely
Pitch
at
Black.
the end of the line of intermediate. But yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, but Love the King is definitely a good one to go to if you are past the beginner stage and you want to get into something a little darker. And then lastly, we only have the one book with us, but the entire Hollow Boy series.
Yeah. That I think is a really good middle series. It touches on more serious topics, but you don't see it happening. You know it's happening, but you don't see it happening. Same with I think Steel Roses by Samantha Bee would belong in the intermediate.
I would put them there.
Yeah.
I would say maybe like the last Steel Roses would be like at the very end of intermediate.
Yeah.
But I would put them in intermediate. Honestly, I would put Black Hollows in intermediate as well. Maybe not the last book. Last book would probably be, but the first two Black Hollows and Jace's book are definitely in intermediate, I think. Especially Jace.
Yes, I think there's some of those books that belong in Pitch Black dark romance, but some of them are towards the end of intermediate. It's kind of there.
It fluctuates throughout the series on that one, but you could definitely start it and it be intermediate, and maybe by the end of the first book you're ready to dive into darker.
Yeah.
But I would say the first book of that series is an intermediate.
Yeah, and the entire Hollow Crow series, that's intermediate too, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so those are good ones to go to when you are ready for something a little darker. Lastly, when you're on the train for I just want it to be pitch black and not be able to see anything, this is where you go.
The Edge of Darkness by Lee Rivers.
It's now become pretty popular. Both of us read it prior to it being popular. And it's popular for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of this stuff is hard. Yeah. It's love this series. It's not super fun.
Yeah, it's like a series I do want to read again, but definitely you go into it the second time with like
well aware of what you're diving into. It's really, 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 really good.
If you haven't read it and you're ready for the darker stuff, you need to read it.
But please read the triggers.
Yeah, if you are the type of person that does get triggered by things in books or needs to read the trigger warnings, this is one of those ones where you really, really do need to read it prior to reading the book.
And that goes the same with
all of her other books.
Web of Silence and Psychotic Obsession.
Yeah.
Please read the triggers.
Especially for Psychotic Obsession. Like, really need to do something.
Yeah. So, love these books so much.
Yeah.
With my whole heart. Love them.
But we're definitely, like, deep in that dark romance stuff now.
Yeah.
So do not read these before you are ready.
I also want to mention Hunting Adeline is here.
Yes.
Haunting Adeline is intermediate.
End of intermediate, but
Yeah.
intermediate. But hunting is, yes, that's what we're talking about. Like,
same
Hunting
vibe.
Adeline. Yeah.
Read the triggers.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can't have Pitch Black unless you talk about the Lord series by Chantal Tessier.
They all range throughout, but they're all in the last category.
Yeah. I think the first 3 are
probably more towards the beginning of
the
Pitch
Sinner.
Black.
The Sinner might be a little
Well,
bit.
the Sinner is just in its own category.
But then the second you get to Carnage, Managed, and Chaotic,
you're just in
Yeah.
the depths of
Yeah.
darkness and despair. But you should still read them.
yes.
But not until you're ready. Definitely the last books we talked about today. Do not read them until you've really prepared yourself and have maybe read some of the later dark romances that are available.
Make sure that you like it before you're just like, yeah, let me grab one of these.
And make sure to always read the trigger warnings, especially with dark romance. Because there's a lot of heavy topics. And
Now, there is a sub-genre, which is a dark sports romance. So I wanted to give some recommendations of those within these 3 subcategories.
yeah.
So intro would be When We Lied by Claire Contrast. For sure, like this would be like an introduction. It's a hockey romance, but it's in dark romance for sure. And then medium.
That would be anything by C.R. Jane. So she has her dark hockey romance series and her dark football romance series.
Yeah.
They fall in the medium category for darkness. But once again, like we said with everything else, it fluctuates book by book.
And then I think more into the...
As dark as it gets when it comes to sports dark romances.
Well, sort of. So this one is like end of intermediate. Sort of. I don't know. It's in intermediate for sure. A Pitch Black dark sports romance would be the Diamond Devil series by Harmony West.
Haven't read it yet. That's on my list.
It is so good. I love the entire series. It's a dark hockey romance. But that's where I would put in the Pitch Black that entire series. So, but yeah, if you guys are looking to get into dark romance or needed recommendations, every book that we've mentioned here we absolutely loved and gave at least 4 stars, if not 5. So go check them out.
Yeah. And as always, these are just our opinions. So we hope you enjoy them.